whatever we like to say. Views from the 22, live on the scene. This is week 18. Yes, I said it. Week 18 of the NFL season. We got a jam-packed show for y'all. We got people that will be jumping on as we get going and everything else like that. So with that being said, we got the scout extraordinaire. We got Coco himself. We got Mr. True Man in a False World reporting live from the scene. And as you see, our first guest has already stepped up and stepped in. She got the black on like she going to a funeral. With all of that being said, at the end of the day, we got a jam-packed show for y'all. So I just want y'all to know, like, hey, just be there in the comments. Everybody in the comments, make sure y'all ask questions. This is gonna be the most interactive show that we've had this year. We're celebrating the last week of football in the regular season. Vic, let's start with you. How you doing, man? How you feeling?
Feels good, man. Feels good. I had a good Saturday. Just try to unwind a little bit. But ready for some the last week of football. It's been entertaining. Yesterday's games were a little entertaining. There was a little blowout there. It was a close game for the Chiefs Broncos. But it's good, man. Like week 18, I feel like the injuries wasn't too crazy this season, Jerm. I don't know if you correct me if I'm wrong there. A lot of players were able to make it through. Thank God for that. And hopefully, I think the playoffs are gonna be fun. They're gonna be fun to watch. So, what's going on, April?
Nothing. Took me like 5 minutes to get ready. I'm excited. This has been a crazy year in football, especially for Raider fans, but in the league in general, it's been an exciting year. I have my timer on countdown to tonight's game. I'm looking forward to it. There were some pretty good games on yesterday. I'm just happy to be here. Thanks. I'm excited. Let's go.
All right, so we're going to start with the yearly awards. Why? Because the most important thing to some fans, to some people, are awards. So with that being said, we're going to talk about the hardware, and we're going to briefly talk about a couple of things so we can see. So currently right now, our Coach of the Year candidates, the candidates who stand out the most to me, and this is to me, I'm not going to go crazy and go anything else, but I'm going to start with Matt Lafleur. I think he's the front runner this year. Matt Lafleur, he has done an excellent job of simplifying that Packers offense, making sure that everything is a little bit simpler, making sure that they run the football to support and help Aaron Rodgers in certain ways. He's done an extremely, extremely good job over there coaching. That culture seems like it's shifted a little bit with all of the turmoil that they came in the year with. It's just fitting. It will be fitting for him to win the award. The other candidates that I have here, I mean, I think, honestly, it makes the most sense to say this. I think Bill Belichick and Sean Payton both should be on this list. Whether they're number 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever they are, I just love the way that I've seen Bill allow his young quarterback to develop, allow his young quarterback to come in and take the reins. He took a chance, and chances make champions. And that's why Bill Belichick is a champion. And we know that from the last time this happened. So Sean Payton, Vic, I talk to you about this all the time. That's one of the best 53-man rosters in football. That's one of the best. And they perform. And I'm very, very, very proud of the way that they performed this year, because this team could still be a 12-win team had they had a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, bro, from the situation, like from going, transitioning from Drew Brees and the kind of quarterback he was, to having to deal with what he has after Drew, Jameis Winston, the quarterback / tight end that they have there. It is a good job by him, and you could tell that his ability to adjust the playbook, kind of pick some plays that are specific to certain player styles and stuff like that. those adjustments is something that is important, and that's what makes you a good coach. Can you adjust to your players? Can you adapt your scheme, adapt your game plan, like all of that stuff? So I mean, I agree with that one. I want to add a name to that list.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Reich. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, I think it's Reich.
Yeah, Indianapolis head coach, again transitioning to Carson Wentz. From what they had before him, putting a good roster together. The offensive line is great. The defensive line is great. They put the beef. How we talk about the beef, how important that is. I think that they did an awesome job coaching that football team. Of course, drafting Jonathan Taylor was another significant part there. They were able to, again, what I personally believe in as a person evaluating this sport, beef and focus on your running backs in your running game. Run the ball a lot, play action, open up, downfield and stuff like that. And I think that the Colts do a good job of doing that. So I think Frank deserves a spot on this list.
I'm not mad at that. April, is there anybody that you would like to nominate, or are we good with the candidates we have?
Honestly, everybody said I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but yeah, I definitely agree with Bill Belichick for sure. And as always, Coach Lafleur, and yeah, you guys pretty much nailed it with all three.
What's interesting with Bill, Jern, is that the last time he won it was 2010, and that kind of goes to show you, like, there was that effect of, even though he gets a lot of credit for the dynasty, it's almost like he was never nominated because he had Tom as well at quarterback, maybe, or they always had teams that are always contending. I guess people really never threw his name in there, but he did an outstanding job this year, getting that team ready, moving on from Cam Newton, taking that risk, even though some of us didn't think it was a risk, and moving on to Mac. But it was a risk at the end of the day, because that's transitioning from a veteran to a rookie, and they did an outstanding job, coaching that team up this year.
Absolutely, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give it to Matt LaFleur this year. I think he's the most deserving this year. I think he's probably the one guy who I'll say separated himself somewhat on the list. If you give it to any one of these guys, though, I'm not upset. I think all of them had a tremendous year. I mean, Carson Wentz bounced back big with Frank this year. Jonathan Taylor continues to ascend. I mean, everybody in the NFL, except for maybe the Bucs and maybe a couple other organizations, had a second round grade on this guy that we had a first round grade.
And the Views crew had the first round
grade.
Yeah.
So it's like when we have the grades that we put together, I seen a complete player. I seen a complete player that wasn't asked to do a lot of the pass catching because of the school that he went to. Mm-hmm. And I see things like that. So I'm going with Coach LaFleur. Who you guys going with? April, who you got?
I go with Coach LaFleur. I mean, they're the best team in football right now, so. And they got to deal with Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying. So I mean, they've got it going on over there. Offensively, it's insane to watch.
Yeah, with the drama too. I agree with that. The drama that came out of that situation. Because again, the human element is so important in this sport.
And I'm sorry, did I hear that when they go to the Super Bowl that Rodgers was going to boycott?
I think it's bull, but who knows?
We'll see. We'll see. Like, we'll talk about. We'll probably get into something like that. We'll get into that later, because that little story right there, that's the diva aspect of the sport for him. Uh-huh. And I don't know. He giving all Sagittarius bad looks right now, and I don't like it. Vic,
I don't like it either.
I mean, did he win it last year? Who was coach of the year last year?
I believe. I don't remember.
But I also do want to throw in, because Jay did mention the Raiders coach, our interim coach, who's a special teams coach. I mean, he could be somewhere on that list, not on the top, but he'd be somewhere on that list. Is what he kind of brought his team through. I mean, I'm just saying.
That's a good. I mean, come on.
It's not. I'm not saying he deserves coach of the year, but he did just. I mean, from November to present day, we did go through a lot of things. Yeah. So I mean, I give him props for taking on that. that crap
Okay,
load.
Responsibility,
A
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
Here's what we do. We'll
Lot.
give him.
Yeah.
We'll give him December Coach of the Year. All right. So
No. So real quick, Kevin Stefanski won Coach of the Year last year. So you know what? Let's just give it to Matt Lafleur then. I'll give it to Matt then. Kevin Stefanski. Ugh.
you see how insignificant it was. I forgot it. I forgot that Brillo pad.
Ugh.
With that being said, yeah, seriously, the next award we have is the Coach of the Year.
Wait, what?
Excuse me, I said a Coach of the Year.
You
Comeback Player of the Year.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
We got 2 Coaches of the Year.
I like it. Mm-hmm.
The Comeback Player of the Year. Now we got Dak and we got Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're just Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow.
Hold on. Let's ask category who he gonna choose.
No, I'm not asking
category.
him. I'm not asking
category.
him.
Who you gonna choose? Category.
I'm not asking 5. I'm not asking him any question. Because he's gonna be like, I appreciate the way that Joe Burrow.
Yeah, he's gonna give you a little explanation first.
But what I'm gonna say is this. I am leaning Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell y'all why I'm leaning Joe Burrow. And I think it's a very, very close race. Don't get me wrong, no disrespect to Dak.
Mm-hmm.
Joe is coming back off of an ACL. Basically a fully reconstructed knee in less than the allotted time. And he's led a football team that was in the pits of the NFL. In the pits.
Yeah.
This is a team that picked in the top 6 in the draft last year.
Mm-hmm.
They are now a division winner and the 3rd seed in the AFC playoffs.
Bro, this one is This one
it's a tight race. Like
no, it's not. To be honest, I'm leaning towards Joe more because when you put everything together, like you just said, the division. Come on now, we expected the Ravens and Steelers to be on top of this division and the Browns.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, you talk about the injury to the quarterback. You talk about the offensive line has still been horrifying, which is absolutely crazy. Okay, some people are gonna start. Oh well, you could win without beef. Then I don't cut it out. All right, this is once in a lifetime kind of situation because they're like top 3 in sacks given up and pressures. So their 2nd round pick, Carman, has not been great. They could have drafted one of the guards. I don't know any name you could throw out there.
I think
but they went with Jamar. Took the risk with Jamar. Like that is. I love it when you compare one guy with a guy that he was in college with, especially quarterback receiver combination. Like that was too enticing. They took the risk. They could have went like these other coaches and be like, but we gotta go here. No, they took that risk. And I mean, it was a show. It was a show. And Dakota, awesome. Again, he had a significant injury too. You can't put that to the side. That injury was crazy. We actually saw it live, and it was hurtful to see. But they have a weaker division. They have a stronger football team roster-wise before the season started. Obviously you can compare it now. So yeah, Joe definitely I think deserves that spot. I don't know what you think, April.
I mean, it's tough. They both come back from injuries. I don't know. Dak he's something else. Even though they lost a few games that they probably should have won. Mm-hmm. I don't think that was Dak's fault. Those are kicker's fault, and continues to be the kicker's fault. But I mean, he's been putting up like 50 points, like the last 2 games. It's insane. Even though it was up against a secondary, like a second string Eagles. Defense, it's still. I don't know. I mean, both of them are great quarterbacks. Which one's going to lead them?
Is there another name though?
I don't know.
Anybody?
Who would you prefer? Who are you going with?
Well, I mean, I would go with Dak.
You gonna go Dak? Okay, no.
I would go Dak.
I don't listen. I'm not one of those people who's gonna discredit Dak Prescott's year. I think he's had a sensational year for the most part. There's been some stretches and lapses, but I think every quarterback this year has had some games where you scratch your head. Even Aaron Rodgers has head scratching games, even in their wins sometimes. How do you have 10 incompletions and you don't score any points in the second half? So with that being said, we'll talk about that another day.
So there was no other name we could think of at all, right?
Nah, it's no other names that is. I mean, those are the two most
significant ones,
most
position and
significant
everything.
things,
Yeah.
and it's the most significant position.
Right.
I mean, Dak to trust the ankle to still run. Joe is trusting the knee. He's running. He's stepping up in the pocket. He's open in the pocket.
His hitching into the pocket is. I'm telling you that this is going to be that next. This is going to be that next god of quarterbacking. I'm just saying right now, this kid is going to be. He's going to be special.
He's going to be up there coming up soon. So we got defensive rookie of the year. I don't really think we need to spend too much time on this.
Yeah. Who else?
Micah Parsons. We're just gonna say Micah Parsons. We're not gonna spend too much time on that one.
Yeah.
I think that's unanimous. You had 10 sacks. You just made plays all over the field. He looked like a veteran player. I think he's gonna be in that next wave of players. He's one of the 3 best linebackers we've ever scouted.
Yeah.
You got Devin White, you got him, and you got Roquan Smith. Those are the 3 best linebackers we've ever scouted.
Yeah.
He's right there he's right there in between Devin White and Roquan Smith because he was a little bit more complete. Roquan was better going downhill. This kid was a little bit more versatile. Devin was just a freak.
I mean, you got a situation where the kid was going to be listed as the middle linebacker, over Vanderish. And then all of a sudden, DeMarcus Lawrence goes down. Randy Gregory, is in and out of the lineup as well. He had a rush to passer for them. And all of a sudden, you got yourself another defensive end out of nowhere, So, for him to be able to play, all those positions, that versatility is, hopefully Cowboys got a good player for another decade, barring any injury.
So, April?
Oh, no, yeah, I was going to say Micah Parsons for sure. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer.
Hey, look, I'm not mad at that. Look,
the chat's saying Parsons too. So
Okay, offensive rookie of the year. I'm just gonna name a couple of names, but we got Jamar Chase, Mac Jones, Najee Harris. Them is the 3 that make the most sense.
This one's
Y'all
probably
know who I'm going with, so I don't need to say anything. I'm going with the dude that I stood on the table during scouting and said this is gonna be the best receiver out of this class. He is going to be better than what Justin Jefferson was last year, and he has been. And not only has he been on par with Justin Jefferson last year and been better, he's on par with him this year. He's like 70, 80 yards off of Justin Jefferson's pace. So with all of that being said, he came into the league year 1. He's dominated. He's shown that he is Odell Landry, the best quality traits from both of those players. They're all 3 around the same size. They're all 3 around the same weight. This kid is just physical and nasty, and he does it his way. So, Vic, who you got?
The chat is already saying what they want to say. Ham with the bars over here says, "Cut to the chase." I'm gonna make my case for Macalicious, Mac 10. And then y'all can throw it away after. Y'all can throw it away.
Called a grown man.
Y'all could throw my opinion away. You could throw my case away after. This is a kid going into the New England offense. One of the most sophisticated offenses. The EMP system. But you know what? I'm gonna just stop right there. Give it a chase. Mac was great, but give it a chase. What you got, April?
Hey.
I like Mac Jones. I don't know. I mean,
he was outstanding, but
I think he's a staple right now in the Patriots offense. So I don't know. I go Mac Jones.
I'll go with you. I'll go with Jamal.
Hey, I'm with Ham. I'm with Ham. You disqualified for calling the man Macalicious. Big shot. Here's the reason why Kyle Pitts isn't on the offensive rookie of the year thing over Jamar. It's really hard. Like, Kyle Pitts is looting in a riot. I know who Matthew Ryan is, and I know he's a Brillo pad, but Jamar Chase is probably the second, third reason why Cincinnati's going to the playoffs this year. Because he came in and turned that entire offense into a juggernaut. Like that offense is a juggernaut when it's clicking. April, who you got?
Like I said, Mac.
You going with Mac? Okay.
I am.
Okay. I'm not mad at Mac. Look, whoever they choose this year, I think all of these players have done a great job. Like Mac, to give Mac his just due, just right now, Mac is going to the playoffs and pretty much won. I don't think the Patriots lost a road game this year. I think they lost one road game this year. That's insane. Like rookie quarterbacks going another, and part of that I know is Bill because he didn't put his guy at risk, but still, like that's pretty damn impressive.
He took it with him.
Okay.
Yeah. For learning that
defensive player of the year. Now, I'm gonna give you guys some names. We got TJ Watt, we got Trayvon Diggs, we got Myles Garrett. Of course, Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey are always in the mix because they're the best respective players at their position, quote unquote. And
who's at the top? Who's at the top?
Well, the top three guys are Myles Garrett, Trayvon Diggs, and TJ Watt.
Two of those guys are not going to be in the playoffs?
Yep. No. Two of the guys are not going to be in the playoffs. Look at them. Emotional. So, Vic, I'm going to ask you, do you have anybody else you would like to nominate?
You know, I would love to choose Myles Garrett on this list. You know, maybe it's not his fault that the team was borderline, just awful offensively. The dude is, one of the best talents we've scouted, one of the best talents in the league right now, dominating. I personally take him over Aaron Donald simply because of the position. The right defensive end is such a tough position to find, as is the three technique. But, you know, Myles was outstanding. Trayvon Diggs gave up a lot of yards, man. If he wasn't intercepting the ball, he was giving up quite a decent amount of yards.
He's a baby, though.
Yeah,
he's a baby. I hate to be the person to say this. When the babies make mistakes, they make mistakes, and they make them big. And he's not scared to make a mistake and take a risk. That's part of the position. So I'm not going to let me just say this. I don't penalize players for yards because I seen a year where Buster Screen gave up a touchdown every game, and I didn't see no stat like this come out.
Yeah,
Buster Screen was getting abused.
Yeah.
I'm talking about every time they lined up, somebody lined up against Buster Screen, they ain't even look to the other side. They said, "We're looking at Buster Screen." So I don't really like. He can get abused and all that stuff. Like y'all gotta, we gotta. It's levels to this.
He's a big reason why the Cowboys defense has improved, and they are going to the playoffs.
He's the best secondary player that they have.
Yeah.
Even with him giving up those yards, if he's the best secondary player and he's a part of their winning formula, he has to be important as a player.
Turnovers are going to help you win games, especially if you could score off of them. You know what I mean? So I think out of 11 picks, he scored on 2, and then the Cowboys offense was able to score on 4 more. So 4 or 5 more, something like that. So it came out to points, you know, and that's significant. Again, he's the only one out of the 3 making the playoffs, you know, defensively, even though they it's defense and 1 player each. This is a tough one, bro. I don't know. What you got? Do you have a name or?
You guys touch in on it. Diggs is exciting to watch. You have a point. They are part of the reason why they're in the playoffs. So.
Yeah. And it not only like his turnovers germ, but he helped the whole team become more turnover prone. Like his energy fed off on everybody else because they also, gave up a lot of, caused a lot of fumbles, fumble recoveries. Like the whole defense as a whole has finally been able to, turn over the ball, unlike so many Cowboys defenses of the last couple decades have not been able to do that, So I'm gonna go with Trayvon Diggs because I think just the impact alone, the human element that he was able to bring to the defense, to the energy for the Dallas Cowboys has been awesome. This one's a tough one. It's tougher than the rookies for sure. I thought the rookie one was tough, but
So I'm gonna give you TJ Watt as of today.
Was there a slight chance in there somewhere down that list, like at the bottom? Max Crosby would have been in there. I mean,
he'd have been down.
He puts numbers. He
was putting up the numbers in the beginning. I mean, I'm just
he's
saying.
not. See,
I wouldn't nominate him for the year, but I'm just saying.
No, I'll say this. Max is a guy who probably won't win an award like that, but he's going to be an impactful player. Because you know what? This is the hardest part about this, right? Sacks are overrated stat. We talk about this every year. Sacks are overrated stat. It's hard to get a sack as it is with the quarterbacks having some of these offenses that are with these mesh concepts that are allowing some of these faster receivers to get open. So it's hard as it is to face a lot of these teams, and then you're getting rid of the ball so quickly. So it's impressive for TJ Watt to have 21 and a half sacks. However, when we go back and we watch the film, you see that it's not necessarily that the Steelers are generating pressure just from his side. It's sometimes the other guys are pushing the pocket on the other side, and he's getting those cleanup sacks. Then you see also he's getting sacks just like elite pass rushers are from his own initial pressure and moves. So it's a combination of both. I can't penalize him for getting those sacks that he's getting that are in cleanup because he's still making the play. I can't penalize him for getting more sacks than everybody else over the last 3 years because it just shows that he's giving the effort. It shows that he has
the high
motors.
Yeah. I mean, and it's one of those situations where like a lot of people, you know, this is scout talk, this is film talk. Initial pass rush means you win off the snap, you beat the tackle on your initial move, whatever move you make, you beat him and you get a sack. TJ Watt, such a high motored player, and the Steelers do a good job getting pressure from all angles that he gets to the quarterback cleaning up a sack. So he'll get another sack, whether he doesn't win on the initial pass rush. So he gets a lot of sacks like that. Again, that's not to take credit from the fact that he has one of the highest motors in the league. But when you look at guys like Myles Garrett, who is constantly winning off of his initial pass rush, you know, that's why it's kind of a equal fight there. You want to say when it comes to Max Crosby, another guy right there that's high motored. I don't think he has. I don't think he has
players are the most annoying to have to deal with.
Yeah,
because they're gonna
make you chase. They're gonna make you chase. They're always looking for work is one of the terminologies people scouts like to use. Looking for work, and Max does a great job of that. He you know, I don't know if he's as good in the run game as these guys. You know, that's another impact. You know, that is very much needed for Defensive Player of the Year. So this one's a tough one, man. But you know, I'll just go with the impact Diggs has been able to do for that defense. I guess to me, they took a bigger leap, you know, from season to season. I would say.
I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna pass it right to you. In April, you go right after me. TJ Watt should have been Defensive Player of the Year last year. In fairness, I think we gave it to Aaron Donald because we gave it to him because he's the best football player, arguably, in the league. We do need to capitalize it and talk about some of the things that these other guys are doing. So I'm going to give TJ the nod, not because of Tanya and Jaquan, not because of anything like that. I'm going to give it because I think it's just hard. Like he's the most important player on the Steelers defense.
Yeah.
He sets the tone, and man, if they have been that week against the Lions, that's not a tie.
They play the Bengals.
That's how trash Mason Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is.
They play the Bengals this year. I mean, today.
No, they play the Browns today. No, excuse me. They play the Ravens today.
Okay, Steelers Ravens. Damn. I was gonna say because either the Steelers right tackle or the Browns right tackle is gonna give up more sacks for him to get that record today. So I mean, he might win it off of today. What he does today, he might be able to win it. Because if he gets that record, he passes Strahan for that sack record, then
Yeah,
that's
I'm gonna go with TJ because I think he's overdue, well overdue at this stage. April, who you going with?
Like I said earlier, Diggs.
Got Diggs?
Yep.
All right, so y'all going with the corner. I'm going with the offensive with the offensive line killer, I guess. Offensive player of the year. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Do we want to do this a quarterback edition and then do a skill player edition, or do we want to do strictly a quarterback or just put them together?
I mean, if you do a quarterback, I'd take an Aaron Rodgers. Period.
I mean, you can take A-Rod. I mean, statistically, there is a player who had a better season too. But
bro, but listen, statistically, there was a couple that had a better season than him last year too. But I think this year there's been a stretch of games, especially towards the end of the season where, to me, again, his yards per depth per target, all of that stuff has been higher. He's taking a lot more throws downfield. To me, he's having a better, more impactful season than last season. All right, as weird that might sound to a few people, Brady has been outstanding. But y'all
didn't even give me the answer to the question. Do we want to do a quarterback and a skill position just for the sake of doing it?
I mean, I guess if we have time.
I mean, this is why we started early, so we can give out the awards, baby.
Let's do it. I mean, to me, it's like,
all right, skill position guys. Let's go through the skill position guys first because quarterback.
I only got one. So
Cooper Kupp hasn't. Cooper Kupp is
fair.
Cooper Kupp is fair. You pretty much would just have. It's bad, y'all. Cooper Kupp and Jonathan Taylor.
Unfortunately,
an honorable mention. I'm putting Derrick Henry on the list because he probably would have had like 1,000 touches this year, but like 3,000 yards.
That's a whole journey. That's a whole different other subject. The amount of touches he was getting through the week. What is it? Week 9 when he got hurt. Week 8.
Yeah.
The amount of touches that he was getting throughout the weeks were. I mean, unfortunately. I mean, look at who they replaced him with, and they're getting good touches. They're getting good, yardage and stuff like that. So you could have helped the guy out by taking some of those snaps away. Yes, he's your best player, your most physical player, but the position is so demanding. Like, bro, he could 28 carries per game he was averaging, plus whatever he get on top of that. Blocking assignments, going out into routes, that impact on your feet. And like people don't understand, that's why the Lamar Jacksons of the world, guys that rely on their feet, the Antonio Brown situation, guys that rely on their feet for this sport is so important to what they do in their styles. I mean, if Derrick Henry was able to play the whole season, I mean, bro, he'd probably be at 2,000 yards by now. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, Jonathan Taylor has been unbelievable. His vision, his agility, horizontally is impressive. Being able to jump cut and stuff like that. I'm gonna go with Jonathan Taylor if it's a non-quarterback award, of course.
I mean, I agree. He had like 10 games that he had 100+ yards. I mean, they went 9-1 when he was 100 plus. I mean, he's exciting to watch. It's insane. Yeah. That's who I would pick too. That was on the top of my list. Cooper Kupp.
You got Jonathan Taylor?
Right, I have Jonathan, but Cooper Kupp is right there. I mean, but they're two different skill players. One's a running back. Yeah. I don't know.
So here's what I'm gonna say. Vic, 2 years ago, or matter of fact, Super Bowl year, I said that Cooper Kupp was the most important player on the Rams team, not name whatever. And You and Mo, y'all had some reservations about this. Y'all said, "Hey, Germ, that player is not that important. Blase skip this, and that. Boom, boom, boom." I said, "Hey, I think he's the most important player. You know, he's the best run. He's the best run blocker, the best catcher, best hands catcher, whatever." Well, here we are. Boy, I tell you, it's interesting where we get when we talk about these things. But Cooper been looting in a riot though this year, somewhat. Because he's not the reason why they're winning. He's posting his numbers regardless. The difference in them winning would be Matthew Stafford being consistent. If Matthew Stafford was consistent, they would have won 4 or 5 more games potentially. We're talking about a team that's probably would have maybe only lost maybe 1 or 2 games this year because that team is just that stacked as a roster. Like as a staff, record label, and crew, they are elite at quite a few positions. So I'm going with Jonathan Taylor. I think he is the most important player to the Colts team. Besides the offensive line, obviously.
Yeah.
And when he and that offensive line are in sync, the other teams go bye.
I mean, you got a situation where a lot of those guys were 7 yards downfield, and some of their blocking assignments, and that's a big part of some of these running back success. Let's not forget that. That's why they're not going to be always included in that quarterback conversation, because their position is very reliant on what's happening in front of them. But again, when you talk about the players specifically, just an outstanding talent. Doesn't fumble. I don't even think he has a fumble this season.
He might have a couple fumbles, but I don't think he's lost very many.
Yeah.
So, the quarterback edition. We got Tom. We got Tom. We got Dak. We got Aaron. We got Josh. We got Kyler. We got Derek Carr. Her boy.
I don't think the competition is as close as it was last season. To me, I think Josh Allen deserved it. I think Tom Brady deserved it last year. I'm sure I'm missing another name, but to me, I think just Tom and A-Rod kind of have separated from everybody else. Kyler has just been hurt too much. Josh, too inconsistent. I think he had a better season last year in terms of consistency. I think between Tom and A-Rod, I wouldn't be upset about it.
All I'm gonna say is this, and this is really, really simple. The offensive player of the year is probably going to be a quarterback, and it's probably going to be the same person who wins MVP.
Which is
I think it's a little bit unfair because I think you have to throw some love to the skill position players somewhere in this on these lists in general, because the quarterbacks, the defensive ends of the world, the players who are high volume or high impact players, it's hard for other players to win it because we're so fixated on these positions. So for this particular award, for if it was a quarterback, I think it's gonna be I think it will be Aaron Rodgers. It's hard to say it wouldn't be Aaron Rodgers. I just think that when people vote, they're not looking at the bigger picture of everything else.
No.
So we have to simplify the game and just say what people see, and they see high touchdown numbers and low interception numbers, and that makes them feel like that makes them feel like it's great quarterbacking being done when there are some things there that can be improved on. I think
like leading the league in throwaways by a significant margin.
I mean, it's things there that we can talk about, but
yeah,
I'm gonna go Aaron Rodgers. I think I don't want Brady with any more awards. If he's already breaking records, Brady don't need no more damn awards. If Brady's going after funny. Bowls, so that's the difference with me.
Yeah, that's funny because it's like I felt that, but you were saying it at the same time. Like in my mind, I was like, you know what? Like, it's the MVP award. It's the regular season Diva award. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead, April, say it. Say who you want. Say who you want.
And not who I want, but I mean, I like Jerm just tapped in on it. people are going to vote for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, because of where he's at and what he's done. I mean, statistically, Derek Carr is in the top 3 as far as passing yards go, but that doesn't mean he needs to get the award. But I'm just saying. So I mean, I'm taking Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, you know she threw in a Raider for everything today. She's throwing in
okay.
a Raider.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Hey, like, you know,
she was like this. Raiders.
I'm with her. I'm with her.
She did that like a Pokeball. She said, "Go Raiders." She turned the hat backwards. Go Raiders.
No.
I'm with her. You know, I'm
Al
hoping
Davis
the
came
Raiders.
Pokeball.
I'm hoping the Raiders can grow from this season. You know, because I like the roster, even though it's been trimmed a little bit for some of the stupidity from some of these kids. The 2 first-round picks, to name a few. But you know, shout out to Trav. He said, "Give it to A-Rod so Brady could play upset and win the real MVP award." And that's the Super Bowl MVP.
Hey, look, all I'm gonna say is give it to Aaron. MVP award, I don't even think we need to discuss it. It's gonna be Aaron Rodgers. I know it's gonna be Aaron because at the end of the day, I'm gonna be honest. I think he's gonna come out and throw 3 touchdowns today, get 40, have 40 and 4, and go sit on the bench. Like, I think it's gonna be something like that today.
Mind you, Germ, Brady is close to possibly breaking 2 single-season records, and that's passing yards and attempts.
I think it's more. It's actually more. So on today's docket, as you see, we've discussed all of the awards and everything like that. So let me see. One sec. There's a list of awards here that are going to probably end up being broken. Somebody posted it in Views the other day, which I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah, let's look that up. See if we can find that real quick. If you want, I'll look it up.
Okay, right here. I got it right in front of me. So NFL records that could fall in week 18. Calvin Johnson's 1964. Cooper Kupp has 1,829. So pretty much a nice 140 yards, 135 yards, and that record will fall. Let's see.
Receptions was up there for Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas has 149. Cooper Kupp is 11 off. So 12 receptions from Cooper Kupp today, and he would have 150 receptions in a season, which would be stupid. That's retarded.
Some people don't even get that many targets.
Bro, listen.
Most receivers don't even get that many targets.
150 catches is equivalent to damn near 10 catches a game.
Yeah.
If you catching the ball 10 times a game, who covering you? It sure ain't a blanket. I tell you that. All right. Michael Strahan's 22 and a half sacks. We got
the closest.
TJ. I wanted TJ to break it against the Browns last week because it looked like the Browns didn't want to chip him. They didn't want to dip him. They didn't want to do nothing. And he was just going around the right tackle at will. But this week, if he breaks it, look, I think that record should have been broken, to be honest. I just think that the game has evolved so much that the quarterbacks don't hold the ball as much. So him to have the 21 and a half sacks, go ahead and break it this week and do it against the Ravens, one of your arch rivals in your division. All right. Now we get into some Brady ones. 471 completions. Brady's at 456. So 17 completions today. 16 completions today.
And that's it.
And
that's it.
We got a new completion league.
Yo, my God. People don't understand. Yeah.
All right. So what the next one is Peyton Manning's 5,477 yards. Brady has 4,990 yards. So that means that Brady needs a total.
That's a big gap. I think it was 485.
He needs 488 yards.
Yeah.
And he will break that record today.
That might be safe.
It might be, but it's against Carolina, and we don't know what Carolina is doing.
Yeah.
As long as Fig Newton playing over there, we don't know what's gonna happen.
You might have the ball a little bit more possessions.
We got that big shiny trash can. Sam Darnold. I don't know what's gonna happen. Matt Stafford's attempts in a year, 727.
Oh.
Tom Brady has 682. attempts this year. So that means Tom Brady needs another. This is insane, bro. This is insane. He needs basically, in so many words, 40 attempts today. 40 attempts, and he will break this record.
Matt Stafford to have that record.
And
must have been a really bad Detroit
game record, by the way. He ended the year where he ended. But yo, that's crazy. Whew, he may retire after this year because I know his arm is tired and I know his back is tired too. Anyway, with that being,
be happy, Brady haters. It might be the last season.
Yes, just hold on. Just hold on. He's leaving. Yeah, April. He's gonna be leaving soon. So you can elevate Carr up one more spot by default.
Just one more.
just
half
a
spot,
more.
maybe.
Yeah.
It's a big
that's what she's looking to do here. So the other thing too, I'm gonna discuss real quick playoff scenarios. Then we'll jump right into the games and everything like that, so that everybody can understand what's at stake today. So as we know, currently, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. They are currently the AFC North Division title winners. Kansas City won the AFC West. Tennessee won the AFC South. We got both the Bills and the Patriots who are going to be fighting for who's going to win that spot as of today. And that'll be for the division winners. Now, for Baltimore is still in play to make the playoffs today. Now y'all ready? This is the scenario. In order for Baltimore to make the playoffs today, they have to win, the Chargers have to lose, Indy has to lose, and Miami has to lose or tie. Okay, so that's for Baltimore. For Buffalo, they can clinch the AFC East title if they win. They just got to win. Or New England has to lose, or they both have to tie. Now, Cincinnati can still get the number 1 seed and a first round bye.
Let's go. I want that. Get the cheese up out of here.
Well, Tennessee is actually going to be if they win, Tennessee is going to be the number 1 seed because Tennessee bumped Kansas City early in the year. But since he needs to win, they need Tennessee to lose, Kansas City to lose, New England to lose or tie. Or they need to win, and they need Buffalo to win, KC to lose, and Tennessee to lose. So you need the top 2 seeds to lose and Buffalo to win in order for you to go up to the top.
That's for Cincy.
Yes. Indianapolis, you clinch a playoff berth if you win or you tie.
So
however, just make it simple and win. You play in Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence is played.
Yeah, but they've made some games out of games they should have not made some games out of.
Yeah, absolutely. The Ravens. So we got the Chargers if they lose, and you got Baltimore and Pittsburgh tie, or you have the Chargers lose, Pittsburgh lose, and Miami wins. That's how they clinch a playoff spot. Kansas City can get the number 1 seed still, obviously. They won already. Tennessee has to lose or tie. And, that's pretty much where we are. Now we talk about April's Las Vegas. Go Raiders! The Raiders clinch if they win or they tie, Indianapolis loses, or Indianapolis loses and Pittsburgh loses or ties.
So they just have to win.
Yep. And then the Chargers have to win or tie in order for them to get in. All right, New England can clinch the AFC's number 1 seed still. And that's if they win, Buffalo loses or ties, KC and Tennessee lose. My goodness, New England.
Wait. So what was the only way Cincy could get the number 1 spot?
They need let's see. Cincy can get it in 2 ways. They need Buffalo to win because Buffalo wins. That means Buffalo wins the division.
Okay.
They need Kansas City and Tennessee to lose.
So Kansas City already won, though.
Right. So that's pretty much over. I'm just giving the scenario.
Okay. Damn.
Don't shoot.
You gave me hope for a few seconds there, and it was just it's gone. It was
so
gone.
yeah, you're right. It is.
Damn.
You know, I wasn't in sync that time. You know, because
Saturday
the truth
games.
remains, it was gone.
Stupid Saturday games.
Yeah, I mean, we should have just had them all today.
It is what it is.
But let's see. New England can still clinch the division title by winning and Buffalo losing, vice versa, whatever. Pittsburgh can still make the playoffs. If they win, Indy loses, and as long as the Las Vegas and the Chargers game does not end in a tie. That is so weird.
Yes, I'm tired of hearing about it.
Like,
with all due respect,
so weird.
With all due respect to the Steelers players and organization and head coach, I'll be okay if they miss out this year. Just saying. Sorry, Tanya. Love you, First Lady. If you're still listening, get some fresh blood in there. You know what I mean?
All right, and let's see. We got Tennessee. In this situation, they just have to win and they'll get the number 1 spot. They tie. That doesn't do them any good. Kansas City didn't lose, so nothing else really matters there. So at the AFC, we have a lot more stuff in the balance. Everybody is still jockeying for positions and playoff spots, stuff like that. So for the NFC, it's really, really simple. Like, this is really simple when it comes down to it. Green Bay is a division winner in the North. Dallas won the East. Tampa won the South. We have no winner in the West yet. So the Wild Wild West has not declared a winner yet. Arizona can clinch the division title with a win and a Rams loss. The Rams can clinch the title with a win or a tie. San Francisco clinches a playoff berth if they win or tie, or New Orleans loses or ties. And New Orleans has to win and San Francisco has to lose. Now, if you're the Rams, you're currently at spot number 2. If the playoffs started today, which means you'd be playing Philadelphia. Do you want to play that Philadelphia team, and do you want to focus on winning today? Or what do you think is the more important thing for you to do? Because Philadelphia is playing their best football, and Philadelphia has one of the better offensive lines in football. So we're talking about a situation where they can run the ball at them for 60 minutes. And as I said, I'm not worrying about the Rams until they can stop the run consistently. I'm running right at Aaron Donald and Von Miller for 60 minutes. And there will be no pass rush opportunities this evening.
Fair.
San Francisco can do the same thing. So do you let San Francisco in hopes that, number 1, you get healthy and you focus on next week potentially playing a team like the Cowboys?
So
Cowboys? Because I think Arizona is going to beat Seattle. To be honest, I just think Arizona's going to beat Seattle. However, I think with me having that foregone conclusion, I do think that the Saints and the 49ers are both equally tough matchups in the field for all of these teams. I discussed the Saints. The Saints' 53-man roster is one of the best in the league. They're going to be able to run the ball whenever they want. But on top of being able to run the ball, they're able to stop the run, and they're able to also contain the pass. April, I'm going to come to you first. If you're the Rams, what do you do? Do you play for the number 2 spot and home field throughout unless you get to Green Bay? Or do you say, you know what? We don't care about home field. We care about matchups.
It's tough because even last night I was cringing when they were playing all the starters for Dallas. I mean, you're prone to injury. You're already in the playoffs. You're already there. Their situation is a little tougher because you kind of want home field advantage, obviously. If I was the Rams, I would care and I would play.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the number 2 spot is no longer a bye week. You know what I mean? So it's tough because, do you rest players, but you still need to get the number 2 spot, so you have to play your best players to win the game. So you have a good point. It's tough. I think they'll play it out, bro. I think at least the first 2 or 3 quarters, see what the flow of the game is, and then start kind of removing some players out of the lineup. But again, the number 2 spot is gonna have to play, right away next week. So, the first, so the Green Bay is already guaranteed.
They're guaranteed a bye.
Yeah, they're already the first team. So yeah. So I mean, that's a tough one, Jeremy. I think they'll play it out though.
But you, and the 49ers are a division team that all of these teams struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the Seahawks beat them a lot, they do struggle with them. This is a team that
so either way,
physical.
Either way they go about it. You said if they lose, they'll play Philly. So if they get the 3 spot,
if they win, they play Philly.
If they lose, they play San Francisco.
If they lose, they end up playing Dallas, unless Arizona loses.
Where's this game being played again? Is it in Santa Clara or is it in LA?
This game is in.
Oh, so they're playing the Niners today. So yeah, you got Rams Niners today. The Niners have to win.
They're going to the 49ers.
Yeah.
So they're going to Santa Clara. I don't know. It's tough.
They're gonna play the goal.
I just say you play your starters, like Vic said, play your starters and see where it kind of goes during, about the halftime, third quarter. You just don't want to risk getting injured.
And that's the thing. Like, are they gonna try to get Cooper Kupp to get the records? That could cause also injury because now you're pressing. Because you'll be able to tell right away in the game plan in the beginning of the first quarter how they're gonna cover him. You know what I mean? So if it's gonna be one of those situations where it's gonna be tough to get him the ball, I would kind of relax on one of your better players and stuff like that. And I don't know. Some of these situations are very tough.
I mean, it's tough because you play a team like the Dallas Cowboys, who you can say, hey, they're playing very well, but Dallas isn't a team that you're going to worry about consistently. In a situation where a playoff scenario, in a 1-game playoff scenario, would you rather play Dallas or would you rather play Philly? I'd rather play the team that I know that may abandon the run completely if they get behind. I hate to be that person, but I've got to give the logic of it in the situation. You know what I'm saying? So I worry about them when it comes down to that. So with that being said, I mean, it is what it is for the most part with the playoff scenarios. So anybody in the comments, if you have any questions, go ahead and post them. Now it's time for the pick'ems. We're getting ready to pick all of the games this week and everything else like that. So, I mean, hey, y'all, let us begin. So the first game on the docket we will discuss, we got Cincinnati traveling to Cleveland. They are giving Cincinnati +6 on the road against Cleveland. Excuse me. They're giving Cincinnati 1.5 over Cleveland. Excuse me. Who we rolling with today?
Yeah, I mean, I think Cincinnati, because of the seeding, they may play their starters too, probably first good couple quarters of the game. So I'm going with Cincinnati today for this game. Baker's not going to be available. I don't know what the backup situation is. Are they going to start preserving players for next season? I'm going for Cincy.
Okay. April?
I mean, it only seems logical to go with Cincy, but I'll just give me the Browns just because by like a point. By a point.
All right. I'm gonna go with I'm actually gonna say that if I'm Cincinnati, I'm resting my players today. I'm not playing against the Browns because this would be the game that our offensive line breaks down and we hurt our quarterback or something. And I'm knocking on every piece of wood I can find because we don't want to see Cincinnati quarterbacks go down in the playoffs like we've seen before and things like that. So give me the Browns today. I'm gonna take the Browns too. Next game on the docket, we got Green Bay traveling to Detroit. I mean, it doesn't really matter who starts this game, in my opinion. They're giving the Lions plus 11 at home. I'm going to just start off by saying I don't care who wins this game. Just to be honest, I think what the Lions are fighting for right now is they're fighting for a top 3 position in the draft. I would prefer if I'm the Lions to lose today, so I'm starting all my backups to see what I have on my team. Give me Green Bay. April?
Yeah, Green Bay. I mean, is Aaron even playing? Are they just going to have him?
I don't know, but if I'm Detroit, man, I'm playing everybody. I'm unloading the clip today. I need to see everything I have.
It really doesn't. Yeah, this game is like a doesn't matter game, but I mean, I'll go Green Bay because I don't trust Detroit.
Yeah, Green Bay might have one of those situations where they'll play the starters for the first 2 quarters, kind of, because they're gonna have a bye week, so keep some sort of momentum offensively at least for a couple quarters, and their backups might end up still being better than the Lions, so the Lions definitely should, and that's a good point by Germ, should see what they got in terms of their depth, but I mean Green Bay might just still pull this game off.
Next game on the docket, we got the Bears traveling to Minnesota. Mike Zimmer's last game, I hope. It's been time to change that message for about 3 years now, and now we're getting here. So, good. The Bears are plus 6 on the road. I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to go first. I'm going to take Minnesota in this particular game because I think Minnesota will at least be able to score a couple of points. Justin Fields in that Chicago Bears offense is still not there. Pick?
I'm going Minnesota as well. Again, there's one of those situations where the Bears can see what they got for the future as well and who they're going to roll with. But yeah, Minnesota should be able to win this game. Same for both teams, actually.
April?
I'll take the Bears.
Okay. Next game on the docket, we got FC Washington. The Washington Brillo Pads against the New York Little Men. They ain't Giants. We have them going. So Washington's traveling to New York, plus 2 for Washington on the road. Look, I don't really care who wins this game. Giants need to lose because you need to secure a better draft pick. Give me FC Washington. April?
Yeah. I mean, I'll take the WTF team.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take Washington. Real quick, Josh is saying on the chat that Brandon Allen will start for Cincinnati. Mixon is also out. So
thank you.
Yeah. Browns may be able to pull that off. But yeah, I'll take Washington as well. Just too much dysfunction in New York. They're gonna have to also see what they're gonna roll with next season. Both teams again. But Washington probably has a better football team right now.
All right, next game on the docket, Indianapolis versus Jacksonville. Jacksonville is plus 8.5 at home. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I think the Colts should win this game fairly simply. Win it in the first half, grind it out in the second half. Like, really, this shouldn't, please, come on. Please don't make this a game.
Yeah.
Give me Indianapolis. I'll take them right now. I think they cover. And most importantly, I'm look, I'm pretty confident in Indianapolis winning this game by 10 points or more.
Yeah, I mean, they should be able to handle business. I think Frank does a good job of getting them prepared regardless of the matchup. They have seeding to play for, so Indy should be able to dominate this game.
I agree. I think Indianapolis is going to win this game. Big.
Pittsburgh traveling to Baltimore. Pittsburgh is plus 6.5 on the road. I'm gonna make this simple. No analysis needed. I'm taking Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh obviously they have a more complete roster at this moment, and there's really nothing else to talk about.
And I think they also have something big to play for, and that's Ben's last game. It'd be nice to see him get a win to get out on a high note. I mean, they still have a chance to make the playoffs anyway. So both teams, so they got to play their butts off. I'll pick the Steelers too.
Is Lamar out still?
Yep.
It's a tough one for me, but I don't know. I don't really care, but I'll take Baltimore.
All right, pettiness being displayed here.
It's very petty.
Take the Steelers. You can take the Steelers. You know who's the better football team.
All right, fine. I'll take the Steelers.
You know who's the better football team right now. And she chose violence again.
Fine, I'll take the Steelers. I'll take the Steelers.
You just giving away picks at this stage. April's like, here's my money. Hey Vegas, here's my money. So the next game on the docket, we got Tennessee traveling to Houston. Tennessee is minus 10, so obviously Houston's plus 10 on at home. Give me Tennessee. Just do me a favor and be Titans over these Texans. Yeehaw.
Tennessee.
Is Henry? They're not going to play him? Are they going to?
He's not coming. He'll be back next. He'll be back the week after next. Well, they're getting ready to secure their first round bye.
Yeah. Tennessee should win. Tennessee should win, but I don't know. Houston just wins. I don't know. They're just a head scratcher. I mean, I don't know why they just don't tank their season, but I expect Tennessee to win.
I mean, they got Davis Mills now. Come on.
Mills.
Next game on the docket. New Orleans searching for a playoff berth Saints versus Atlanta. Why is Matt Ryan still your quarterback? Falcons. To be honest, I really don't need to do too much here. Saints are 1.5 point favorites on the road. And to be honest, just dominate the trenches and you should be able to win this game.
They need to win. So give me the Saints.
Yeah, Saints playing for something.
Next game, New York Jets. The Zach Wilson is not trash Jets versus the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to be honest, y'all. I think this game will be a little bit more fun because they're giving the Jets plus 17 on the road against Buffalo. But give me Buffalo. Real simple,
Yeah, I'll take Buffalo. I just hope I want to see a good performance from Zach Wilson and them to close the season. But, yeah, Buffalo should be able to win this game.
I'll take Buffalo.
4:25 game. We got New England going to Miami. Welcome to Miami. I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. This is real simple. They're giving Miami 2.5 at home, plus 2.5 at home. I'm going to say New England doesn't need to win this game more than Miami wants to win this game to finish the season on a positive note. Give me New England today in this game, but don't be surprised if Miami pulls this one out and finishes over 500.
I'm taking New England.
Same.
Next game on the docket, Carolina traveling to Tampa. Carolina plus 16.5 on the road. I'm going to be real with y'all. I think Tampa is going to come out. I think Brady's going to throw the ball 50 times today. He's going to break that record. I think he's going to have 40 completions, so he's going to break that record. I think he's going to have 5 touchdowns, and I think he's going to throw for 500 yards. So with that being said, Brady breaks all the records. Give me Tampa big.
Yeah, I think they're going to throw up a lot of points. It's 50 plus, easy. Give me Tampa. Buccaneers.
I'll take Tampa Bay too. I think some of those records are safe, but I think by the third quarter they'll take some of the guys out as well. So, but yeah, I'll take Tampa in this game.
Right. The next game on the docket, we have San Francisco versus the Rams. San Francisco is 6.5. Actually, April, I lied. They're actually in LA. So this game is in LA. San Francisco is traveling to LA, to the Coliseum is what I'm going to call it right now. We got the 49ers at 6.5, plus 6.5 on the road. Here is the key. San Francisco can run this rock. The Ram can't stop them from running the rock.
Mm-hmm.
Give me San Francisco.
Is Jimmy G playing? Or is Trey? It's probably going to be Trey Lance again.
Probably Trey Lance. And, Vic, I mean, it's tough, man.
I'll take the Rams by a very close margin. I think San Francisco will be able to run the ball, of course, on them. I just don't know if Trey Lance is going to have to pass the ball. I don't know if they'll be able to consistently do that. So I'll go with the Rams, but it's going to be tight.
Garoppolo is the starter today.
Oh, okay. Well, changes a little bit. A little bit. I'll stick with the Rams.
Okay.
I mean, I see the Rams too, but Stafford has to be a little bit more consistent. He can't turn the ball over. Yeah. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a tight game. I don't think it's going to be very many. I don't think it's going to be a very high scoring game, but I think the Rams pull it off. They pull it off by a field goal.
Right. And then we got the other NFC West divisional game here as one of the last games on the docket here. We have Seattle versus the Arizona Cardinals. +5 for Seattle on the road. Arizona has 0 to play for, to be honest. But if you win and the Rams lose, you put yourself in a situation where you could be in a better spot. I'm going to roll with the Cardinals today because the Cardinals should win this game. They should want to win this game regardless because they need to build some momentum going into postseason. So give me the Cardinals.
Yeah, it's been an inconsistent last couple months for them. So I think offensively they need to, definitely kind of get on track and stuff like that if they want to make a good run. So I'll take the Cardinals in this game.
All right. Next game on the docket, we have the night game, which is a win or get in. It is a divisional round bout. It is the AFC West, second team in the division, second place finish fight. We got on one side the Los Angeles Chargers. I call them the wall plugs. They're more like iPhone chargers. And then we got on the other side, we got the Las Vegas Raiders. What happens is we got these situations and these two things here that were there. These two teams are going to clash at 8:20 tonight, and it should be a good game. Number one thing, the Chargers don't stop the run. I saved this game for some analysis because I know the Chargers do not stop the run, and they also do not like to run. Those are two formulas for failure and why you are where you are today.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders, however, will run the ball. But the Raiders on the other end will be physical and they will attempt to stop the run, even if they don't. That they will try. The Raiders are one of those teams that they will give you effort. They won't cheat you in certain areas that some of these other quality teams will, and that's why they're where they are right now. Period. Just gotta call a spade a spade. So let's start here, April. Let's start with the Raiders. What are your keys to victory today for the Raiders? And who are your X factor on both offense and defense?
Well, I know Eckler is back. We just have to stop the Chargers in general. We need no turnovers. Carr's got quite a few interceptions, quite a few fumbles. He's got to stay focused.
Don't look down when you say that. Don't look down. That's your quarterback. You better support him like Terrell Owens.
I absolutely. I'm a big Carr lover. I love that man. He's about 100 yards away from beating Rich Gannon, 2002 Raider in passing yards, breaking a record for the Raiders. I think a running game is important. I think Jacobs needs to run the ball 100 plus today. I think Waller's going to be back today, which is big. Do I think he's going to be a big part of this game? I'm not sure because he's been out for 4 games. So we're going to continue to see it to Renfro. They need to keep Zay Jones in their sights because, man, he's the next wide receiver for the Raiders. That kid is something else. I love watching him. The whole Mariota thing, I hate that play. I'm sorry. I hate it. It's successful, but I hate it. So for me, it's Carr leading his team to the win. I mean, this is it. It's do or die. He's next year. I mean, I don't know. I know Mark Davis was making a statement about a big change in coaching, which I think is absolutely just excuse my language, dickhead move to do before you're going into a Sunday night big game, which is basically telling Raider fans that Bisaccia is probably not going to be the head coach, considering what Bisaccia had to deal with and take on. I mean, it's just a slap in his face. So I don't know. I'm looking to see the Raiders in a tight game, a very exciting game. I would love to see them blow out the Chargers. Or excuse me, I like your word better, the wall plugs. I would love to see them blow them out. But let's go. All
right, Vic.
Yeah, I mean,
looking forward to in this game.
I'm looking forward to Justin Herbert kind of finding some consistency, kind of passing all over that Raiders secondary. But I think the offensive line has been so inconsistent. I think Max Crosby is going to be a significant piece of this game, as well as the front seven. And I think the Raiders are going to pull this off, Jerm. I just think that the Chargers, as much as I love the kid, one of my favorite quarterbacks that I've scouted, and Herbert, I think that the Raiders are going to give him a headache, and I think the Raiders pull this game off. It should be an entertaining one.
Josh Storm, give me over on that. Give me. He should get at least 60 yards rushing today.
Who's that?
Austin Eckler.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, he's not only rushing, but total yardage. He's gonna need over 100.
Here's the key, man. Can the Chargers stop Josh Jacobs? It's gonna be the key. I think him and Kenyon Drake make a formidable combination. You still have other guys that come out the backfield like Rashard, players like that. My thing here is going to be this, and then I also have Peyton Barber. Can't forget to mention him. My thing here with the Chargers is this: you've been so inconsistent all season that I don't even know if I want to see you in the playoffs. The only real intrigue we have here is that we will get a Kansas City Chargers matchup again. That's the only intrigue. I mean, the Raiders are not as great of a matchup for the Chiefs as the Chargers are. But at the end of the day, I don't know if the Chargers deserve it.
Right.
I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, deserving to be somewhere sometime does matter. And I just feel like at the end of the day, the Raiders have figured out ways to win while the Chargers have figured out ways to lose. And this has been an all year thing. The Chargers have figured out ways to lose.
Right. And, despite some of the things that the Raiders have gone through this season, the players and the coaching have fought through it. You know what I mean? While you got the Chargers who just like so much
They've been through the
consistency
most
everywhere.
adversity this season.
Yeah. And
The
they
Raiders have
deserve
been through the
credit.
most adversity this season. And
Right.
here they are. And you wouldn't even be in this spot. Watch this, April. This is what's so funny. You wouldn't even be in this spot if the Chargers just learned to kick field goals.
Yeah, talking about the Cowboys situation, the Chargers kicking game is funny because you don't want to get rid of the kickers, but there's talks where people want to get rid of the kicking position, and I think it would suck, but these guys are bad. Some of these guys are bad. And when they get mentally, like, I don't know what it is, challenged, mentally disturbed, they're how they feel, how they, all of that stuff, like they lose. They lose that kicking ability.
Well, in this situation, Vic, I'm going to be real with you and I'm going to tell you the truth. Because the truth of the matter is, it's not even about those things today. With the Chargers, they just refuse to kick field goals.
Oh, okay.
In that
I know
game, there was no reason why we didn't kick more field goals.
Are they not trusting the kicker?
If you don't trust your kicker, then go find another one.
I'm one of those guys that if you're a free agent at this moment, you're a free agent for a reason at this stage of the year.
So, at the end of the day, I'm just gonna be all the way real, man. Man. Going today. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do this on live on the scene. Live on my co-founded platform. With all of the scene family watching. Mm-hmm. Where do we give a trip to? Because that's where we going. Give me Las Vegas. Give me the Raiders today. And I'm going to give y'all a score. The score is going to be 27-26 Raiders. Because you know what's going to happen? The Chargers are going to go for 2. Because they're going to, I'm telling you, the Chargers are going to find a way to lose today. And I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be sad. I'm going to smile because they don't deserve to be in the big dance this year. I'm sorry, but you do not deserve to be in my big dance if you're going to play like big trash cans that are shiny. So we have exactly 32 minutes before kickoff. This is the fastest we've ever finished the show. And I've let everybody know that if they want to jump on and talk their little talk or anything that they need to say, they can let me know. I encourage it.
Category, where you at?
You know what? That is a good person to bring on. Any surprises this year, guys? Any surprises? April, you got any surprises this year?
Like as far as
any player, any team, anybody that took you by surprise?
Oh, No,
There's a lot to think about. I'll give you some time. I'll give you some time.
Honestly, I am surprised that, like, as far as like the beginning, I'm surprised the Packers are where they are. Just because what we saw the first 2 like weeks. I mean, the first game of the season, I was like, oh my God. But I mean, other than that, there was some surprising games, some outcomes that I was like, wow, really? So, I mean,
I guess Cincinnati could be a surprising team. We knew how young they were. We knew that the offensive line issues they had. So where they at right now can be a surprise. Cincinnati. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, the Packers, considering the drama from the drama queen himself, and then that terrible start. They've been able to fight through it. And then surprises. I mean, where the Ravens are, where the Steelers are. Having to fight for a playoff spot right now can be considered a surprise, I guess. Yeah, there's nothing that really that be like wow kind of situation. Bengals might be the closest.
Man, listen, I'm gonna be honest. I'm shocked that the Chargers and the Browns just imploded.
Yeah,
those rosters are so full of talent. Like,
yeah,
it's bad. It's bad. Like, I'm disappointed in both of those organizations. Those organizations this year have won games sheerly on the fact that they were more talented than other teams.
Yeah.
And then when it came to playing teams that were up to par, they couldn't get the job done. I'm very disappointed this year with those two organizations. On the flip side, though, shouts out to all of the young quarterbacks that we have in the league. The league is going to be in good hands.
Mm-hmm.
What we have to worry about right now is which quarterbacks are going to take the next step.
Mm-hmm.
The Denver game last night, Denver does a really, really good job in the secondary, and they do a good job with getting the pressure with 4, and they put the right guys in situations. The blueprint to contain the Kansas City Chiefs is not one that's hard to figure out or hard to put together. You have to make them methodically work down the field, and you have to do those things moving forward because you don't want them to score in 1 or 2 plays. Make them put on an 8-minute drive.
Yes.
Make them be patient. And that's the difference between a lot of these quarterbacks and some of these veteran guys. Some of these veteran guys don't care about scoring in 1 play. They just care that they score. So, the playoffs. When the playoffs come back and we get ready to put those shows together, I mean, anybody who's interested, just let me know. Give me a Vic or Mo a shout because we're going to try to break down some of these matchups and everything like that. National championship game is on Monday.
Yes. Tomorrow.
So with that being said, real quick, let me give y'all a quick little insight. I know April doesn't really watch college football like that.
No, but I'm rooting for Alabama.
I mean, you got to root for Alabama after this because this is just one of those situations where I look at this and I say, Georgia showed the rest of the world that there was a gap between those two teams and everybody else with the way they beat up on Michigan. I don't know what people were thinking. I know people are going to be mad at me when I say this. I don't think Michigan beats Ohio State on a second time. I don't. I think you win that time, and that's what you won. You won, or whatever the case is, and that's cool. But I think on first try, I think that you won on the first in that situation. You shouldn't be in the same division to begin with. You should be in separate divisions because both of the teams should play against each other. But that's neither here nor there. And I think overall, we were deprived of what we really should be seeing in the Big Ten championship game, ultimately, because we have Ohio State and Michigan in the same division in the Big Ten. I don't like it. I think that y'all need to change that. And more importantly, we're complaining about the college football system. And I think it's unfair to complain about something with no real understanding that the best teams are these are the 4 teams that we want to see good games. We don't want to see blowouts in the BCS or whatever, or the bowl games that the top 3 games of the year. We don't want to see blowouts. We want to see competitive games that come deep into the fourth quarter where teams have to make plays and things of that nature. And what I'm noticing is everybody wants this new blood in there, but the new blood comes in and they get smacked. When I see Cincinnati go to play Alabama, and when Cincinnati plays Alabama and they have a record for the lowest yards in the first half in a bowl game, that bothers me because it shows me that they shouldn't be on the field.
You know why Ohio State and Michigan are in the same division?
No. As we welcome Josh Storm to the program.
Hello. I'm with you. I think they should change it, but they did that so that they can't play twice in a year. I think it was an attempt to not cheapen the rivalry, but what rivalry? It's their first win in 10 years.
Well, it's not even about. It's
like
not even
I'm
about
just
the fact of. It's not even about the fact of the rivalry, though.
But
isn't it? But isn't Ohio State and Michigan better for business than Michigan and Iowa or Michigan and somebody? Like, I
absolutely.
think you have to separate it.
And not only that, I've always been a fan of the idea that they make sure that game is at the end of the season, because it used to be that was the most, it's still the most important game, but it used to be like it was this year, where it was for basically all the marbles, at least for the Big Ten, but it hasn't been that way recently. I think, like you, that they should be in separate divisions, and they should also play earlier in the season. And then you have the potential matchup in the Big Ten championship game. That's just me.
But I understand that, Vic, and I want you to chime in on this. But when we in April, you can as well, because this is when we talk about just having competition. For the sake of competition, we want to see the best teams as much as we can. If Michigan and Ohio State are the best teams in the Big Ten and they have to play 2 weeks in a row or 2 out of 3 weeks in a row, let that happen. Like, why can't that happen? Because at the end of the day, when a team wins the first matchup, remember now, Storms, I remember the year that Michigan had all that firepower on defense, and Curtis Samuel pulled a rabbit out of his hat on quite a few different downs. Curtis Samuels was the difference. We're just going to call it what it is. But we're talking about a situation where Michigan and Ohio State have been the 2 best programs consistently for the last 15, 20 years. And we only get to see them one time. And the loser automatically goes to some other bowl game.
You're going to throw Michigan in there for the last 15, 20 years?
Yeah, because they've had some pretty good teams. They've had better teams.
Like 4 out of those years.
Well, it'll be more than 4 because they've still had talent. The talent is still there. We're talking about losing games in the last second because our coaching staff makes a mistake. Being right there, like they've had games that they've lost.
Okay, so you're just saying they had good teams. You're not talking about performance.
Yeah, we're not talking about performance. Good teams.
Okay.
Good teams.
Okay.
I mean, the only teams we can put in the Big Ten in that same conversation is Wisconsin, because they've been consistent. And then you have Michigan State, and they're choppier than Michigan. Those are 3 best teams in the thing. Like it is what it is. Iowa is good in certain stretches and bursts, but do we really care about Iowa football?
Iowa is a top 10 team for the first 6 weeks of every season, and then they're not.
And don't you get tired of that?
I don't get tired of them being on the schedule, though.
Okay. Well, so, for the sake of competition, April, I'm gonna come to you first. Like, when we talk about teams winning and 2 winning programs, do you want to see the best game, or do you want to see the best matchup? And unfortunately, Ohio State and Michigan is the best of both worlds.
Yeah. No, yeah. Of course you want to see the best matchups and you want to see the best games. Nobody wants to see this team against like a team that is like no good. We want to see, like you said, the best of the best. Absolutely.
You want Rutgers?
What's that?
You don't want Rutgers?
No, nobody wants that. No,
I don't even. You know what? I don't even follow college, so I don't even.
April's like, who's Rutgers?
Oh
yeah, Rutgers.
I mean, I want to. If I'm watching a game, I'm watching it because I want to watch it because it's it's exciting, it's fun, it's it's like rivalry or whatever it is. I don't want to watch a boring game where one's the best and one's the worst, or one's the best and one's semi par, whatever you want to call it.
I think
so. That's the casual fan view of it, though, of football or college football in a microcosm right there, though. If she says she's tuning in to the big games that are occurring, that's majority of fans. They're going to watch the big bowl games. So do you want to put the best programs up out there? There's no way that Ohio State goes and plays Georgia and scores 3 points or 10 points. They're going to score 40.
We might get waxed because they're the better team, but we're going to put up points.
It's going to be a matchup. It's going to be a fight.
It's going to be more exciting because you can challenge them in the secondary, which is a place they can be challenged, as Alabama showed.
I do think Georgia's probably 10 to 14 points better than we are, though.
I mean, 10 points, but 10 points is still a game, Storms.
No, I know, but I mean, like
we're not talking about a 30-point difference.
I know, but I mean, like if they played more than once, I think Georgia's a 10 to 14 point better team consistently.
I'm not mad at that. But is it better than what we just seen from Michigan?
No. Yes. Yes, Michigan's not better. Yes.
Vic?
I mean, I said it before. I think the brackets should be expanded. Even a bracket, system for each conference, maybe. So what is it? Is it 4 team? Is it a 4-team bracket or that they start with? Two teams play with each other. I don't know how exactly is the bracket, formed, the playoff scenario.
Well, are you saying for college?
Yeah.
Basically, they have a committee that votes these guys, that votes the teams in.
But how many teams? It's 4.
It's only 4.
It's 4. It should be 10.
Teams.
It should be.
It should be 10 with the top 2 getting a bye, in my opinion.
I don't even want to do 10. I don't want to do 10 because I think 10 dampens it a little bit. I think if you do it the right way, I think that you do 8.
Does it? Here's my counterpoint to that.
Mm-hmm.
You think 10 teams dampens it. You also think Ohio State's a better team than Michigan, but Utah gave us a pretty good run for our money. I mean, we didn't play well early, and that's why. But
I think a styles clash, and I think also you're talking about being without draft picks.
I mean, so how many teams deserved it? I'm pretty sure it was more than 4.
Well, let me say this: if we expand the teams to 10, then some of these mid majors and these smaller teams, they're going to get in. Expand it to 8, you're going to get one of those get in.
Let them. Then we don't have to listen to them whine every year.
Well, that's why I said 8.
Right.
I think 8 is a good one because with 8 you get expanded one more game pretty much. So now it's 3 games to the national title. But it makes it more like an NFL playoff run.
Well, like Josh said though, like at least 2 of the top teams could get a bye.
We don't need buys. In college football, we don't have enough time for. They already get a bye in the season, right? For college football, we're just trying to make it to the point where it's more realistic and kind of like our NFL season, right? Because we're trying to get these kids to the next level. So we're giving them a bye based on them being the top seed or whatever the case is. I don't think we need a bye in college football. I think a 3-game thing, because we're not talking about these teams playing in the same amount of time either.
So you're adding a game to the schedule.
Pretty much, that's all you're doing. All you're doing is you're getting rid of meaningless teams in bowl games that don't effing matter.
Yeah. And what's nice about my bad, Tanya, go ahead.
No, it's just the background noise.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. What's nice about the idea of expanding the playoffs too is there's such a long break from the end of the season to the playoffs. You don't have to push anything back.
Right.
The additional round or 2 or whatever it is can come earlier. And then,
there's a huge gap between their last game and the bowl game.
And I don't know. Here's a good question. Do you guys think that would help or hurt the ratings? I feel like it would help because the casual fans wouldn't have to wait so long. They'd still be. I mean,
the NFL added a game for more money. So what would adding a game hurt? Wouldn't it benefit?
No. I mean, the playoffs starting earlier. I think it would be beneficial. I think it would help the ratings because it's closer to the rest of the season.
Right.
See, the reason why they're playing. Hold on. The reason why they're playing today is because there's no Monday night game for the NFL, though. You know what I mean? So the championship game. This is the perfect time to throw that in there, and to see the college season because no Monday night game. And ultimately, the other part of this too that we have to understand too is teams go to bowl games because this is the other part of this that's the most interesting part. And I think this is a bad thing too for the sport potentially. A lot of these teams depend on going to these smaller bowls. Florida shouldn't be in the outside bowl. Florida, you shouldn't be in the outside bowl. LSU shouldn't be in the snow cone bowl. I'm just saying, like y'all program shouldn't be that damn bad that y'all are 6-6 and in these bowl games. Y'all shouldn't even get y'all are major universities anyway. Those bowl games should be focused on the mid-majors, the HBCUs, the other conferences that don't get a Power 5 bid. It shouldn't be for the Power 5.
Right. If you're in the SEC, don't display your ramen noodle bowl trophy.
If you're in the Big Ten, the SEC, as a staff record label and crew, Power 5 as a staff record label and crew, if I see you in the outside bowl, I'm riding you. If there is no way, shape, or form your slaw ass should be in that game. Period. I don't want to see Florida versus Appalachian State. What? Appalachian State then won 10 games this year. Florida won 6. And here we got Florida versus Appalachian State in the outside bowl. You know what?
I can think of a team I'd like to see against that.
I knew y'all was going to get me riled up today.
I feel like they should spread out the bowl game because they're all in a 3-4 day span. And I feel like you got 1,200 bowl games, but they all come on at the same time. They all come on, on the same channel. So you don't really even get to see all of them. So I feel like we done had 2 weeks in this time frame that we haven't watched no college ball because they got all the bowl games 2 days after Christmas.
I don't know what people want to do. I don't understand. I feel like there are so many options and we don't exercise those options because people are too scared to say, hey, this doesn't make sense. Hey, this doesn't make sense.
Well, I'm immune to people whining about us being in them. So I've become immune. So I just let them say what they're going to say.
Well, Tanya, it's easy for you because you're a fan of a program that's good.
I'm a graduate.
Well, I mean, okay.
That is
sorry.
Sorry. Put that out there, girl. Put it out there. You're not only an Alabama fan, but you went there and you graduated from there. Go ahead, girl. Talk about
it. Okay. Vic, slow down.
2006.
Okay, Vic, slow down. Vic, you slow down.
Hey,
sir, you're out of order. Talk about
and I'm Ohio State class, so I didn't go there.
But that's different.
But I'm class of I didn't go to none of that. So they all slaw. But the thing is, I just want people to understand that small programs going to these bowl games is very important because there is a check attached to the bowl game. So the outside bowl, just being outside in the outside bowl, is a very, very important thing for small and mid-major schools because that little check, it could be an extra $30,000 that goes to the program. It could be anything, but it's a reason why it's there.
And it helps their
the
exposure.
Financial part of it.
It helps the exposure. If you allow an 8-team to 10-team bracket, more exposure to those teams that have a chance to probably, contend against the bigger names, the bigger programs and stuff like that, and get more recruits over there, more 4 or 5-star recruits to those programs. I think it would be outstanding, but it doesn't have to be a situation where you're allowing 5 or 6 mid-major teams. Like I think 3 or 4 of them is good enough. 2 maybe. Like that's it. 8 of the great teams, and then the 2 more that deserve. They won their way into the bracket.
College football, I want you to evolve, and this is how I want you to do it. You can't compete with Ohio State. You can't compete with Alabama when it comes to recruiting. So I want you to go to 3 and 4-star recruits' house, and I want you to recruit in groups. What do I want to see you do? Recruit a 4-star quarterback, recruit a 3-star running back that you feel fits what you want to do, recruit a 4-star tackle, recruit a 3-star DB, and recruit a 4-star left tackle. You do that, your program will get some prominence because we just recruited a group of talent. That's group at the major positions that are going to be fixtures in my program. If we start recruiting in groups, that changes the entire dynamic, because now we're no longer just looking for one player, because you're not going to get the 5-star guys. Now, if a 5-star guy who is a running back sees that you've recruited a 4-star quarterback that's playing well, a good left tackle, you have a good offensive line, and let's say he's a running back, then I'll take a chance on you because I see you've built a good team. You've built a something for me to come to. If you want 5-star talent, you got to put something there for 5-star talent to come to. Time to evolve in the way that we scout. Time to evolve in the way that we recruit. It's time to make changes.
Because what do most 5-star recruits want? They want to get to the NFL, and they know they're good enough to be on a team that competes for a national championship.
Correct.
You got to get your program there if you want to get any of them, or more than one every few years.
Or you got to do something illegal, and we ain't gonna talk about those type of things, because at the end of the day, it ain't no fun unless a little money is in the game, and we know how that goes. So as we wrap up this conversation, I thought we end up getting a little freestyle session in with some college football antics and things like that.
Category: who's your comeback player of the year? Come on, man. Be fair and be objective, please. Be fair.
No, to be honest, I think what Burrow's done in the last 2 weeks solidified it for me.
Right.
978 yards, I think it was, 8 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a couple of really big wins to secure the AFC North title.
For sure. MVP conversation.
It's a situation where both of them winning the division, coming back off those injuries, makes it a neck and neck race. Both of them have played well. Both of them have had head scratching moments, and both of them ultimately have deficiencies somewhere on their roster. So it's a very, very tight race. I lean Burrow only because I just think Burrow had the biggest hurdle. His division was, say what you want to say about how bad the Browns have played. You talk about a division where every team won at least 7-8 games.
Yeah.
Like that's unheard of.
And all those teams were all those teams were threats before the season started, period.
Yeah. And I think actually Jerm probably hit on the most important thing is Burrow was supposed to miss the playoffs. But Burrow was supposed to finish last in the division, and he won it.
Yeah.
Cowboys were expected to win the division.
Right. So that's kind of what I was saying, that the road for the NFC East is a little bit easier. The Cowboys roster before the season started was a better roster. Obviously, you can debate that now. You know what I mean? But
right, Dak did what he was supposed to do. Burrow went out and did what he was supposed to do, and a little more, in my opinion.
No, yeah, he's different, and I think both of them also have great respect in their locker rooms. You could just see it, you could feel it. These players, especially how people pull for Dak in his situation. But you could tell Burrow as well has a grasp of everybody in that locker room. I mean, he's an older player too in terms of what year he's in. So,
I mean, Macaulay Culkin is never home alone. You know what I'm talking about? I can't even say his name.
Try it one more time.
Yeah. Macaulay Culkin.
Who is Macaulay Culkin? He's cloaked. You can't see him. What's happening?
Look, hey,
is he like John Cena?
He was in Harry Potter now. But but Joe Burrow is exactly what we scouted. I can say that. Like everything that he does, like this is similar to that national championship year in certain aspects. Like him being able to work with the playmakers on the outside and less than stellar talent on the offensive line. Like the Jonah Williams experiment has to stop, and we need to move him to left guard. Vic, he would immediately be a top 15 left guard if he moved to left guard because he has every ability. You can't. He's not as quick as Slater is, and that's what stops Jonah. Jonah doesn't have the arms. He doesn't like the arm length. We're going to start evolving the left tackle position where 6'4", 6'3" guys that are extremely quick feet are going to be able to play the position because the position is becoming more athletically driven. But, ladies and gentlemen, we got to understand the fundamentals of why the left tackle position is so important. Because most quarterbacks need that blindside protection that much in order for them to be able to go through progressions. And as the defenses catch up to this mesh concept, which they slowly but surely are just knocking the receivers down. If I see a mesh concept and I see two people crossing, I'm knocking that dude right into the other dude. Because, Vic, you correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the mesh concept is coming across just like this?
Yeah.
So they're only maybe a yard away from each other. And if you trip up one of the guys, that completely throws off the entire mesh. And you're going to be allowed to hit them within 5 yards anyway.
But you see some of the linebackers do it, though. Some of the guys that are very aware, very, film oriented, they'll kind of get in their way, get a shoulder in, a shoulder bump in, kind of, like a cornerback pulling on the jersey. Don't grab them where the whole camera, the whole audience sees you holding them. Tug on the jersey a little bit, give them a little bit of an elbow. Those little things where the referees might not be able to see it, it will change the game. So, is a lot, but the Bengals, if they improve that offensive line, it's gonna be fun because that's the pocket passer that can run. All right, give me the pocket passer that can run as a cherry on top, not the guy that can run and then pass.
I mean, I don't have any objection to that, Storms. I'm gonna let you get a final thought in. I'm gonna let April get a final thought in. I'm gonna let Tanya get a final thought in, and then me and Vic, we got work to do, so we don't have final thought yet.
Yeah, let's just sit back and listen.
I mean, you guys hit it on the head. The Bengals are so much further ahead of where I thought they were going to be at this point. But the offensive line is the one thing that is keeping me from having any sort of expectations going into the playoffs. Riley Reif is out for the season. So not only do we not have a single true tackle that was our starter, but now we're missing one of the guys that was, I'll say, filling in. Jackson Carman has been very disappointing all season. I think he made his first start last week because of injury. I would like to see Cincinnati use their first 2 or 3 picks on the offensive line in the draft. And I would, after the picks that they've made and the way they've used the guys that they've picked over the last 4 or 5 years, I would like somebody other than Mike Brown to make those selections.
I'm not mad at you.
That's about where I'm at, man. I'm happy where we are. I'm satisfied. There's nothing that can happen now that will make me consider this not a wildly successful season. So, I can be patient, more patient than most Bengals fans for a playoff win, knowing that we are building a Super Bowl contender. So,
April, you don't have to speak on the Bengals. Any closing thoughts you might have on any subject?
No, the Raiders.
Oh man,
of course I'm going to talk about the Raiders. No, I mean, it's been a wild season. I just, I want to see Carr come back next year. I don't want to see him go. I don't see him anywhere else. I see him as a Raider, and that's it. God, I don't know. It's been an emotional year for me. Being a fan, I haven't seen them in the playoffs since 2016. We all know what happened in 2016. So I just want to win today. That's all I'm focused on today. I cannot wait until tonight. So.
Man, Carr is like a Dodge Charger. It was cool in 2012, but I'm tired of it.
2016. 2016. Sorry.
The year doesn't have to be right. The sentiment still applies.
It does. It does. And you know what? It's fine. Everybody can bash Carr. Everybody can do whatever they want to do. It's fine. But in the end, he's doing what he's putting. I mean, statistically, this year he's putting up numbers. Yeah, he's got a lot of turnovers, whatever. But he's still putting up numbers with Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's got a lot of passing yards. He's doing what he has to do. We're on a 3-game win streak. We just beat the Colts in Indy. I mean, we're going to win today. And I don't know what we're going to do after today. I don't know, but I know today it's a must-win game, and we will. And that's that.
And I don't say that to bash April, but it's just, sometimes it's just the right time to move on.
Oh no, he's been a quarterback for 8 years. They're not going to move on from him.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those situations where you got to find somebody better, and at this point, he is the better option for that team right now. Unless they make a big trade for like a Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson, there's going to be people all over those guys anyway. So
I'm not saying he should have been gone. I'm just saying I think that I think that it's. So sometimes, like I said, sometimes a change is just better for all involved. Yeah. It's like, long overdue, but it's like Matt Ryan with the Falcons, man. He's not a great quarterback anymore. He's not a bad quarterback, but they just need something different.
Then again,
I just think the Raiders need something different if they want to. It's a mentality thing.
Well, if they want something different, they need a new owner. Mark needs to sell the team. Period. Sell the team, and then and let the Raiders be great. Because I just don't see another quarterback coming in, and I don't.
Atlanta had a chance to draft Mac Jones or guys like that. The Raiders have been contending at least in terms of close to the playoffs or in the playoffs. The Falcons had a chance to get a guy, and they still. Stay with Matt Ryan. So, First Lady?
Is as we wrap up the show for today. This kickoff here kickoffs are probably going off now.
Already started. Yep.
Yeah,
do you have anything you want to say?
I want to say TJ for Defensive Player of the Year, but outside of that, I'm getting my emotions together because this is my boy's last game, so I'm trying to keep myself composed.
Shout out.
But I am starting today to save my money for Canton because he's going first ballot, and I'm definitely going to be there.
That'd be sweet.
Other than that, though, I'm not even really concerned about the playoffs. I just want them. They played really hard last week for him, and I just want them to do the same thing this week. Like they played all out for him last week, so I really just want them to do that. and I'll be good. I kind of prefer if Lamar was playing because he played, Huntley been playing a little bit better than him this season. So I kind of would have preferred Lamar to be playing. But either way, I'll take it. Other than that, I'm doing that, and then I'm going to get myself ready for tomorrow night. To face Georgia, and that's really about it.
So you heard it here first. I don't know. It depends on who's available and who's free. Maybe tomorrow we might come with a views special national championship game show. I ain't saying anything or anything like that. It might be live on the scene. It could be. I don't know. But shouts out to everybody who rocked with us throughout the season. Shouts out to everybody who rocked with us today, yesterday, day ones. People who fell off the train and got back on, people who still on the train, people who fell off the train, doesn't even matter, man. At the end of the day, man, we appreciate everybody. Shouts out to Storms for jumping on here the last couple minutes. If he would have let me know, he could have been on the show because we could have always used the great puns of Josh Storms.
Side note, I did want to congratulate Josh for winning the division. I did want to do that because I'm an SEC girl, so I'm always support my SEC players over anybody else. So I just wanted to congratulate Josh. I meant to do that, but I got caught up by being. But go ahead.
Good sport.
That was a very cleverly disguised go SCC.
Yeah, I know, right? And then of course, shouts out.
Thank you, Josh.
Shouts out to April, the resident Raider fan.
Mm-hmm.
She's passionate about her Raiders. I'm telling you, she turns the hat backwards. Go Raiders! That's what she do. That's April Ketchum. So, with everything being said,
it's like that DMs me. Hey.
So, with that being said, y'all, this is True Man False World. That's Scout Extraordinaire. That's April. That's Category 5. That's the First Lady there on the line as well. We are The Scene. We will see y'all this week for some breakdowns of the playoff matchups once they're set. 22.